Okay. So have you ever like been in that situation, you know, where you're trying to apologize in English and just, I'm sorry, it just doesn't quite,
It doesn't cut it.
yeah, it just doesn't cut it. And,
Mm.
you messed up, but you just can't find like the right words,
Mm.
you know?
Exactly.
So today we are going to dive deep,
Teeth.
deep into the art of the apology.
Yes.
And we have an awesome source, an experienced English teacher who has broken down like 15 different ways to say you're sorry.
15.
So this is going to be great, I think.
Yeah.
So like I said, the most common one, like we all know the one we learned from day one,
Yeah.
is I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's simple.
It's direct.
It's direct. But is it?
Is it always enough?
Is it always enough?
It's the question, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like having a single tool for every repair job.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you need a screwdriver, sometimes you need a wrench.
Right.
I'm sorry works for those like small mishaps, like you bump into someone on the street.
Right.
But for like bigger issues, maybe something where you really need to express regret, it might sound a little hollow, like you're not really acknowledging the...
Like you're minimizing it or something.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that makes sense. So it's like using a hammer to fix a watch.
Exactly.
Not the right tool for the job.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we choose the right tool for the job then?
Well, it really all comes down to context,
Context.
Like, let's say you spilled coffee on a colleague's desk at work.
Well, good.
A simple, sorry about that.
Yeah.
It acknowledges the mistake without being too formal.
Right.
But if you miss a major deadline at work...
Ooh, yeah, that's a little bit different.
You probably want to up your game a little bit.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's not going to...
Not going to cut it.
Right.
You'd want to use something more formal like, I apologize for the delay on the project.
Right.
It just sounds...
Sounds like you take it seriously.
It shows you take the situation seriously, yes.
So one is for casual hangout and the other one's for like a board meeting.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it.
They're different.
Context matters?
Settings.
Yeah. So what about when you really messed up, like you made a mistake that really impacted someone?
Right. Then you really need to bring out the big guns,
The big guns.
Like, I am terribly sorry for the inconvenience this has caused.
Okay.
That conveys a much higher level of remorse.
It does. Terribly sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it acknowledges the seriousness of the situation and your role in it.
Right.
So it's really important to choose that wording carefully.
I see what you mean. So terribly sorry
Yeah.
really does have a heavier feel to it.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, now what about those situations where you mess up, but you didn't do it on purpose?
Oh, yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah.
In that case, you can use I didn't mean to.
Okay.
It's a good way to clarify that your actions were unintentional.
Okay.
For example, I don't mean to interrupt you. Please continue. It helps to just kind of soften the blow a little bit, and it shows that you weren't trying to be rude.
Right. It adds a layer of understanding
Yes.
to the apology.
Understanding and empathy.
Okay, I've always been curious about this one. Pardon me.
Pardon me.
It feels so polite.
Yeah.
Almost like something out of like a Jane Austen novel.
You're right. It does have a very British feel to it.
Yes.
Pardon me, is definitely considered very polite, particularly in British English.
Okay.
And it's often used for minor offenses like you accidentally bump into someone or you need to ask someone to repeat themselves.
Okay.
It suggests a level of formality and respect.
So it's not just about the words themselves. It's about the impression they create.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk about taking responsibility.
Okay.
I'm thinking of phrases like, that's my fault.
Yes.
And I take full responsibility.
Absolutely.
These are strong statements.
They are.
They
demonstrate a willingness to own your mistakes.
Yeah, they do. They show maturity too.
Yes, absolutely.
So like, that's my fault.
Yeah.
Is very direct and straightforward.
Yes, very clear.
I take full responsibility.
That's more formal.
More formal, yeah.
Often used in like a professional setting.
So if I accidentally break a friend's vase,
Right.
that's my fault.
Yeah.
Work.
Yes.
But if I make an error that costs my company money,
Big mistake.
big mistake,
Yeah.
I might want to say, I take full responsibility.
You got it.
Okay.
Yeah, because it shows that you understand the weight of the situation.
Right.
And the impact that your actions have had.
Oh, and don't forget about I shouldn't have.
Oh, yes, I shouldn't have.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's like acknowledging a specific action that led to the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It shows that you've thought about your actions
Yeah.
and that you're taking steps to avoid repeating the mistake.
It shows you're learning.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like, for instance, I shouldn't have sent that email without proofreading it.
Right.
A classic.
Yeah, but I think no matter what you say, like no matter what phrase you choose,
They have to be sincere.
sincere, that's key. Yes, a heartfelt "I'm sorry" can be more powerful than a perfectly crafted apology delivered without any remorse.
Right. It's like a handwritten note versus like a generic greeting card.
Exactly.
One feels so personal, the other one just feels impersonal.
Yeah, you can really tell the difference.
Okay, so for all of our listeners out there, I challenge you to think of a situation where you need to apologize. And this week, try using one of these phrases instead of your usual "I'm sorry."
Yeah, I think that's a great challenge.
And like pay attention to how people react to it.
Yes, notice the difference.
Like, do they seem more understanding?
Yes.
Does the conversation flow more smoothly?
It's like a little social experiment.
It is a social experiment.
See how your words can impact other people.
Yeah, it really makes you think, like, in a world where we hear sorry all the time, how can we make sure that our apologies are truly meaningful
That's the question.
and impactful?
Yeah,
Something to think about as we navigate the ups and downs of communication.
definitely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.